Okay. What do you like most about being a mother?
Oh gosh, okay. I think motherhood is it's the ultimate gratification for any woman, and not that I really thought of myself as being a good mom. Before I became a mom, I actually didn't like kids too much. Okay, I know a lot of people like kids, but I wasn't one of them. And yet, the moment I became a mom, just that instinct kicked in, and there was nothing else in the world I could imagine myself doing. Till today, if you were to ask me what my burning desire is, it really is simply to just be at home and being with my kids. The idea of a perfect day to me is just being home with my kids, because that to me is just the ultimate joy in my life.
Tell us about one of your favorite memories with your kids.
Ooh, I have a lot. I've got 3 kids, okay, and they all have very different personalities. But if you were to ask my kids, we would all agree on one point in our lives that we all agree on, that where we really had the most fun. And this was when really I was just really starting out as a single mother, and we had rented our first apartment. It was just the 4 of us. They were, still very young, and we were really living a very, shall we say, hand to mouth existence, so to speak. Okay, very basic way of life. However, it is also the most fun we had as a family, because necessity is the mother of invention, right? And so, because we could not afford to really go places to have fun, we started to really enjoy the very simple things in life. And so that time was really a great time for us as a family, where we enjoyed going on walks, and just doing just simple things, but at the same time things that really bonded us as a family, that till today, 20 years after, we still look back to the time and say, those were fun times, climbing up a tree, picking fruits and whatever, as opposed to nowadays, how the idea of thinking that you'll have fun with your kids is you go to Universal Studios and so forth. It doesn't have to be like that. What I learned from that experience really is that kids' idea of fun is defined by the parents more than the kids. Kids' fun is fun. But sometimes we put too much of an expectation that it should be this way for it to be fun for the kids. Actually, it doesn't have to be. All they really want is to be with their parents.
It's really the company
Yeah.
that counts.
All they want is really to be 100% there. That's what counts. It doesn't matter where you do it, what you did, or whatever, because what they remember is that sense. You forget details, but you don't forget the feeling, right? You may forget what you ate, but you don't forget that sense of of joy from just being together. Okay, so no big deal whether it's whether it's a luxury meal, or just street food. It's the same feeling, as long as you're there 100% and they know that it's a special time together.
Did you subscribe to any old wives' tales when you were pregnant?
Oh, I didn't, but I was at the mercy of my mother-in-law. And not knowing anything else, not knowing any better, okay, and having a mother-in-law who is really a very amazing woman, whom I love, okay, and cherish, okay, but had very strong views about how things should be done. You can imagine, okay, I was at her mercy. And so one of the things that, for example, she insisted on was not taking a shower, okay, for a month after I gave birth. It's a good thing that where I lived at that time, it was in a very cool place. Can you imagine? Nowadays, I'm trying to imagine how did I survive that time, but I was 18. What did I know? But yeah, there were a lot of crazy things like that. Okay, what you shouldn't eat, what you should eat, and so forth. But what I really remember was not taking a bath. I didn't last the month. I did try, okay, but it was just too difficult, even in the cold climate.
How long did you last?
I think I lasted 10 days.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it again. And
I
I'm
can
not gonna
imagine.
pass it on to my kids, that's for sure.
If you could go back in time, what advice would you give yourself as a new mother?
I think embracing it, okay? I read this book, it's called the Birth Order book. And it talks about how firstborn children tend to really become neurotic, okay? Because they're the kids that the parents, first-time parents, they get too anxious about doing the right thing, okay? And they somehow impart that on their children, right? Because one is a trial and error process, and then you're trying to make sure you're doing the right thing. If I could do it all over again, I would chill and not be not be overly concerned about making a mistake, okay? Because again, the children don't remember the mistakes; they remember the love. They remember the love. So, yeah, I would embrace the process, but also give me my me time. That was another mistake I did. I went 100% all out, taking care of my firstborn child, okay, that she kind of ruled my life. And I allowed that to happen. She's a difficult baby, but there's no excuse, If I had to do it all over again, and for new moms, yes, it's good to embrace motherhood, but the best way to be a mom is to take care of your children, is to take care of yourself first. I think that's the best advice I could give. Take care of yourself so that you can take better care of your children. Okay, that means putting your boundaries. That means setting some me time and not feeling guilty, because moms tend to feel guilty about everything. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying I need my time. I need some me time. Okay, because that helps you actually give better care. In the same way that, in an airplane, what do they say about the oxygen masks? Put it on yourself first before you put it on your child. There's actually nothing wrong with that. That's how you help the child. How can you help your child if you're running out of air, right? You can't give something you don't have. Same thing with our children. We need to take care of ourselves so that we can give more care to our children. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's true. Okay, how has your mother influenced you?
In everything, and she still influences me till today, and I'm just so gratified because I'm looking at my children, and we were having a conversation. I was having a conversation with my youngest daughter, Lali, who's 21 already. She's still my baby, and she'll forever be my baby, but she's a 21-year-old baby. And we were talking about lifestyle, right? And I'm realizing how the influence of my mom in terms of my lifestyle on me, I've passed that on to my daughter as well. Okay, so the way I value my health, the way I value my my well-being, and the kind of lifestyle choices I've made because of that value I've placed on my health, I'm seeing that in my children. The way, my relationship with God, it's been my mom that's influenced me there and still continues to influence me. And I see that in my children as well. So I'm just so grateful for my mom because of really, and it also inspires me to be a better influence to my children, because it's not just my children, but it's going to be the generations to come that'll pick it up, right? And so right and wrong, we do influence our children. And so the pressure and the responsibility of being a better influence, okay, becomes more real to me as I see, a lot of who my mom is, her values in my children.
That's a nice answer. Lastly, complete this. Roses are red, violets are blue, mothers.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Mothers rock the world, and so should you.
Okay, that's the end. Thank you.
Thank you.